Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale of Dungeons & Dragons, A Darkened Wish, the Trickster King. Let's meet our heroes. And as always, I'm going to go in the order that you all are on my screen, which may not be your order on Twitch, starting with Aki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aki, and I play Kerrin and Karrin, your elf twin clerics.
Mr. Alcuin Gersh.
Hey, that's me, Alcuin Gersh. I'm playing Rayonde, the Dragonborn monk.
D'Artagnan.
Hello, I'm D'Artagnan, and I am playing Xander, the human fighter. I was going to say farter for some reason, but you know.
Both. He's been both. He's literally been both. Sam?
I'm Sam DeLeve, and here in front of the Trickster King, I'm here to do my trickster thing, playing Aiden, our Aasimar rogue.
May?
Hi there, I'm Mayleigh Damage, and I will be playing Helene, the human wizard.
And last but certainly not least, bringing a delightful symmetry to the season, Mr. Todd Kenrick.
Hi, I am Mr. Todd Kenrick, and I'm playing Averin, Trickster God and the Perfect Warlock.
And let me just say now up front, because I would say this at the end, but there might be tears and explosion and flames at the end. So I will just say now up front, A Darkened Wish will return for season 3. Not sure how long it's going to be. You know, take some time to get things in order, but we're weeks, not months. So, don't adopt any new bad habits on Thursday nights until we get back here to keep you guys company. The old bad habits, keep doing all of those, though. As independent content creators, we rely on the generosity of viewers like you, both in the form of bits and tips, but also in supporting the sponsors that make this show possible. First and foremost, Q Times. Yes, you are watching us on twitch.tv/DND or possibly on D&D's YouTube, but it is Q Times production and infrastructure that makes this show possible. They have something amazing going, honestly, I think 7 days a week at this point. So be sure to check out Q Times, like and subscribe. And just as an aside, I know you guys hear this all the time, but if you are watching us on YouTube or anything like that, comments really do matter. They really do affect the algorithm. So, you know, if you like what we're doing here, maybe just say what's up. D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond is the official tool set of Dungeons & Dragons, which has nearly everything you need to play the game now, especially with the newly updated player app. So you have access to character sheets, spells, monsters, adventures. It will be the first place that you will get access to the upcoming Rime of the Frost Maiden. Literally all the cool kids use D&D Beyond. So visit dndbeyond.com to find out more if you haven't already. You know what? While I'm even talking, you can open a separate tab and just be looking at it. Dogmite Games. Dogmite Games that makes a ton of kick-ass gaming supplies and peripherals to take your game to the next level, including my beloved DM screen that I so look forward to being behind again soon. But visit Dogmite Games and you can find one that will be perfect for you and your table. And Level Up Dice, the makers of fine luxury gaming accoutrement, dice out of honestly almost anything you could think of, and I do mean quite literally almost anything you can think of. I have partnered with them. I do have a affiliate link, which is bit.ly.com bit.ly/LUDB Dave Walters. Hit the mouse, closed everything, was afraid I disconnected the call. I have not. And last, but certainly not least, Games for Love. Games for Love is a 501c3 kindness-oriented charity aimed at easing the suffering of children. Again, it has hit immune-compromised children especially hard during the quarantine. Oftentimes, they are separated not just from their families, but even from other kids. So we're raising money to buy video game peripherals, Switches, PS4s, extra controllers, and things like that, just to make it a little easier on them. Every $10 donated directly impacts the lives of 2 children. And with that being said, for the last time this season, on with our story. When last we met our heroes, you all were offered by the great god Tyr with a choice. You all had availed yourself in a heroic way and done services to both man and god alike that allowed you all to have a tiny glimpse around the twisting corner of the life that you all have led and realized that it came to a crossroads. Tyr made it quite clear to you that you had a choice between fighting to save not only this world, but the foreign alien world of Abir from an imminent cataclysm as an evil god sought to bind the two together. And Tyr let you know that while you all were heroic, you also are young and have already suffered so greatly, and it would have been no shame and no disservice whatsoever for you just to go home and leave this to someone else to resolve. But Tyr made it known to you that the next time you go home would be the last time you go home. In the face of this offer, you all decided to go and fight to stop this forced unification at the hands of your hated foes, Nebula and Depth, who have seemed to be one step ahead of you at every turn this entire time. And Tyr said to you that while he cannot do for mortals what mortals must do for themselves, he could allow you to borrow something from yourself. And you all gained access to a new level of power that presumably in the years to come you will earn for yourselves, and were transported to the alien world of Abir, where you were able to immediately do battle with a ancient white dragon, which you all smashed in a matter of seconds, a foe that would have taken the full complement of your ship in a pitched battle to bring down before. You all easily defeated. We realized there was a network of energetic tethers sprinkled all around Abir that all seemed to centralize in one place. And Nebula appeared to you and said, "Come join us in our citadel of ice and fire if you dare." You all attempted to use the transportation system that was represented by these tethers, but due to an unfortunate mystical miscalculation, or perhaps outright deception and skullduggery on Nebula's part, who would have thought, you all found yourselves imprisoned and separated. Each of you were matched with your own individual foe, horrible star-spawned beings from some far outer nightmarish plane that you all had to face one-on-one. Aiden, Rayonde, and Xander all overcame their foes with varying degrees of effort, while Helene, Karrin, and Kerrin were pitted against the most dangerous, Depth and Nebula themselves. Helene was incapacitated early, and Nebula pulled her aside to show her the grand work that they'd been engaging in, which consisted of an almost incomprehensibly big machinery of some sort. The Ice and Fire Citadel spans an entire continent. Whole mountain ranges could fit inside this gargantuan complex. And she saw a huge looming god, obscured by frost and smoke, sitting on a gargantuan throne, and a crystal with beams coming in from all directions and hitting the crystal and focusing them downward, opening a portal over a foreign landscape that she could not identify. Through some quick thinking on her behalf, and quite frankly, overconfidence on Nebula's, you all were allowed to return, allowed to escape, and allowed to make your way back to this room where you all laid eyes on this contraption. And Depth and Nebula stood triumphantly atop this crystal, and she reached down and tapped it with her staff, and the crystal became clear, and you saw inside the shape of a man that you've met before, Aiden, the self-styled trickster god. Trapped as energy flowed through him from all over the multiverse, channeled through him and directed down into the ground. And Nebula looked up at you, smiling, telling you, "This will be the final time you all do this dance." And as you all stand there on the railing, looking out over this colossal opening here, and you hear Avron's screams echoing even over the sound of the machines, Nebula looks at you, Helene, and she says, "Well, Red Wizard, look at you all, so strong and powerful, triumphant. We have your god here." And she literally like kind of taps Avron's head, and it just sort of like knobs while he's still writhing in pain. When she looks at you, she's like, "Anything to say, Red Wizard? Do you wish to plead for mercy?" And as she says this, her beautiful starry complexion, you do see the slight outline of what would be a pleasant smile under different circumstances, crudely mimicked by a smile across the hideous, monstrous mouth that stretches across her abdomen as she leans forward, looking at you, Helene.
Why, not Avron. Look, I don't know about the others, but is there something we can work out, please?
Oh, she wishes to negotiate. In depth, standing next to her, a twisting mass of worms covered by a colorful robe and mask. "It's clearly a trick. They have been nothing but deceptive up until now." And Nebula looks at him and she goes, "Yes, but I do so like them trying to be so heroic. Where we come from, we have no such thing. What do you offer, Red Wizard?"
What can I offer?
Aiden, give me a perception check.
Let's see. 23.
The being seated on this throne, it's difficult to tell just with the scale of this, might be 50 feet tall, maybe more. He could be gargantuan and far away, but like bigger, closer up. You see in the fog sort of around his head what look like pairs of glowing eyes beginning to appear, ringing his head, but he is very much obscured. You can't quite make out what he is.
Hey, Helene, check the glowy eyes on our throne friend. Look a little hinky to you?
Yeah. And she'll turn back to Nebula. Look, I'm willing to help. Leave my friends out of this if you can, please. And just what is, can you tell me what that thing is? Just if I'm being cooperative, can you at least give me a little bit of leeway here?
Yes, this is all we wanted was cooperation. Karrin, Kerrin, I apologize for Depp's rudeness. And she does sort of slap him, as you all see where dozens, possibly hundreds of tiny bites cover both of their faces from where his worms were feeding on their flesh. We brought you all to a beer to let you know there is a place for you in the new order. And in the spirit of cooperation, allow me to reveal something to you all. In depth turns and is like, "Do not do this, Nebula. We are so close." She goes, "They are but hapless mortals. They pose no threat to us, Depth. No, we need them to understand why this is best." And when she says this is best, you all see a flash of light come out of Avron. And you do see him over and over and over and over. You see Avron in an alleyway of some far-flung city, just sort of sharpening his knife, looking at someone as he prepares to pursue them. You see him on some far-flung mountain with gargantuan skeletons of long dead gods laying around as he stands there looking pensively. You see him in a bizarre club of some sort, a bar surrounded by vampires and demons and gods, and a gelatinous cube slowly consuming a vampire as he stands there chiding the vampire for its failure. You see him standing in a far-flung tower surrounded by abyss with a helmet on his head, as Freely, you've seen before, looks on like scared, and a gray-haired rock gnome flips a switch and electricity goes through him. You see him duplicated all of these places, and then you see one by one they start to disappear. And you see Nebula in Depth appearing and finding one of them and just stabbing them and dropping them on the ground and just swarming one of them with worms and just getting all of them. And she says to you, the reason why we need this one, your trickster god, is he allows us to hook onto plane after plane and world after world and land after land and draw all of that delicious power here, so that reunification can commence. And as you look down under where this laser beam of energy is hitting the ground, you do see a hole opening up bigger and bigger. And underneath, you see some far-flung land that you don't immediately recognize, with the tiniest dots of people moving around. And you can see they're moving quickly. Whatever's happening, they're aware that something is happening over them as well. And she looks back at you, Helene, and she says, Depth, as you will see, violence is not always necessary to win. I am prepared to accept your surrender. And she does just sort of like stamp her staff down, looking incredibly proud of herself. You very much can make out the most smug of smiles in her starry face.
Surrender is what you want. I can give you that. Again, I don't speak for the others. Their choice is their own, but can you take me instead of Avon? Can you let Avon go? He's been through a lot.
Oh, I assure you, he deserves so much worse. Do you know how many versions of this man we found? All of them terrible. Tricksters and hucksters, and yes, occasionally he knew love and friendship, but eventually...
Yeah, every one of those versions of Avon had friends. In all of those different realities, Avon had friends. So I think that kind of tells us something about him as a person. And right now, maybe in this reality, we're his friends.
Well, disgusting. Nebula just says, come. Fly on over. I will allow it. As a show of good faith, you see the beam intensity slows for a second, and Avon stops screaming. He's still in it. His head just sort of like lolls forward a little bit. And Depth looks at her and he's like, Nebula, you are a fool. And she's like, I am winning. Come, child, come.
Helene will move forward, but before she does, she'll look back at Rayonde and go, I think whatever happens, the last time we go home is going to be, the next time is going to be the last time anyways, no matter what we do, so...
So that means we're going home.
We are. And just in case we're not, I love you.
I love you too. I
And
trust
she, likewise. And she heads off towards Nebula.
I will say, for the sake of ease and accounting, and I don't know if you all track this, you did have time enough to rest to recover your spells and hit points. We'll just make it easy there. This crystal is suspended in the air out some distance. It's probably 100 feet away. You have multiple ways to get there magically, Helene, but it is not something that can just be walked to.
I will cast fly on myself.
All right, just you or everybody? Because technically, unless they lift off the ground, there would be no evidence that you'd given it to everyone.
Oh, yeah, then I will definitely give it to everyone.
Karrin and Kerrin, you two notice this entity in this chair, ever so imperceptibly, has tilted its head upwards, like it's watching what's happening.
What do we know about this entity? Like, do we have any sense of who they might be?
I believe you've had some past fairly high rolls on this. I'm just going to give it to you. You know they serve an entity known as Karshimis, who is a primordial, who fought in the war with the gods. Part of the reason why Toril and Abir were severed in the first place was essentially part of a peace treaty. That it was like, y'all go be over there, and we're gonna come be over here. And Abir got moved away in space. And Karshimis is one of the rulers of this planet, but based on everything you've seen since you've been here, he might have managed to take the whole thing. But they have said to you their goal is to reunite the planet so Karshimis can rule them both.
Is this being Karshimis or just somebody that perhaps serves them?
It'd be hard to say, but you've met your fair share of divine entities. Yeah, that's probably Karshimis. That's probably him.
Well,
yeah.
Cool. I
Yeah.
think that Karrin and Kerrin will kind of inch themselves closer to the boys and kind of like tuck themselves behind them. So like they're in between the three of them and just sort of like very quietly convey that to the rest of them so that boy squad's aware.
Yeah, no, I count two because Aiden's gonna hide. Aiden, I think, trips Helene real quick on her way over and uses the confusion to just, yep.
So maybe Kerrin starts to try and tell Aiden and then just goes, oh, of course. He's
Happy to
not
roll
here.
for it if you need me. Be Dave.
Oh, sorry. Did I mute myself? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. No. I'm actually looking something up. Please feel free to discuss this amongst yourselves.
Karrin,
Mm.
Kerrin,
Oh, yeah.
what were you saying about that creature down there?
Pretty sure that's Karshimis.
Okay, so that's not good then.
No.
Do you
But
know anything? Do you know anything more about it? Like maybe weak points or something that we can use to our advantage, or
Primordials. What do we know about primordials?
You know he fought gods and monsters, and the dragons hate him. Helene. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I tell them that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Helene.
know.
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you again. I apologize. Please continue, Karrin and Kerrin. Sorry.
We don't know much more than that, we're afraid. Just that he's probably bad news.
I'd like to spend a minute just checking him out, if that's okay. Just want to see what I can find out, maybe, perhaps.
I would say you have you will have a minute's worth of observation. I'm going to say from the moment you came in and you were like, "What's that guy's deal?" You know, you've kind of been you've been looking at him. Okay. Helene, do you say anything else before you light off?
She just kind of walks up looking a bit sullen and just kind of like nods her head low, hanging in defeat, and she waits for Nebula to kind of look away, and she casts reduce on Averin if she can, if she's able to do that through the crystal right there if she's in range.
I will say when Helene hit fly, you all felt it take you. You've had it happen enough times. You know what that is. Even as she sort of gently floated across the void here. And as she lands, Nebula looks at you and she just sort of like touches your hair and goes, "Oh, my wonderful new apprentice. My lord, you see, I have brought you the greatest prize, the one most desired by," and you all see Averin hanging there in these manacles, shrinks slightly and slides out and starts plummeting out of the crystal, starts falling towards the floor.
Can
All
I
right.
die? Can I die for him?
I was like, I feel like all three of you. Oh yeah, Rayonde. Yes, you can. Give me an athletics check.
Anyone else coming with me?
Yeah, I'd like to suicide dive as well.
Yeah,
No,
What do you need me
I
to
am
roll?
not.
athletics. You both can make an athletics to see if you can catch him before he hits the floor.
Those two have it. I
Mhm.
rolled my stealth and it's 32.
Mhm.
I'm flying around to where he just was.
Towards the crystal.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
flank all the way around and the back, and we'll get back to that in a moment.
All right, and yes, Karrin and Kerrin.
Before, as Karn and Kerrin were speaking to the boys and giving them information, Karn will have cast Warding Bond on Xander. So you have a +1 to your AC and resistance to all damage.
It's a bold move there, young cleric. And you see Nebula very much says, "I have brought you a trophy, most desired of," and she looks up and the energy is stopped and looks down as you guys are diving. And she just looks at you and says, "Treachery." And Depth says, "Obviously." All of you roll initiative.
I got a 26 on the athletics, just so you know.
As did I, and I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
It's well, again, we play with one house rule here that a 20 always succeeds and a 1 always fails. So the two of you are like cliff diving, like you all would do off the mast of the ship. And as Averin plummets ragdoll towards the surface, one of you gets an arm, one of you gets a leg, and you have him. All right. Hang on a second here. Give me hang on, let me get ready over here. Helene, what do you got?
24.
24. Averin, although you are currently unconscious, still roll. Because when they get you up, I'll slide you into the initiative order here. Karrin and Kerrin.
It's a 14 for me.
Okay. Aiden.
22.
Okay. Okay. Xander.
just a 10, just to keep it medium.
No, you're like, yay, I got him. You're like, no, but I got him though. Yay. Helene, Aiden, Xander, the twin. Oh, I'm like, who am I forgetting? Oh, I'm forgetting them. All right. This will be Rayonde, sorry.
I got a 24. I actually rolled another 20 on my initiative.
Hey, all right. And all your training has led to this, Rayonde. Okay, and then her there. Averin, you can feel free to direct message me what your initiative is, just so I'll have it here on my tracker. But first is Rayonde. You are flying with your hands on Averin right now, and it is clear that he is unconscious. I'm just double checking what your fly speed is. 60 feet. So you could get him back to the twins if you wanted, or you could move forward to engage where Nebula and Depth are and Helene is, but you cannot do both. They're in exact opposite directions.
Yeah. I want to shout to, because Xander is holding his other arm, right? All right. I'll just yell to Xander, like,
Go engage the primary target. I'll take him to safety.
Okay, and you move back.
Yeah. Can I use with Step of the Wind? Actually, is there a surface? Are we in like a sort of cylindrical sort of room sort of thing?
It's like a gargantuan, like crystalline, almost cathedral. Honestly, it is made out of ice, but the ice is actually on fire. Like there's a thin veneer of blue flame over everything.
I want to try to find some sort of like architectural feature, like a sort of strut or a buttress, something that sticks out. And I want to try to use my fly speed to get to that. And then I want to make contact with it with my feet. So I can then use Step of the Wind with my doubled walking speed is 110 feet around. So I'm going to try to
drop him and get back, basically.
Well, no, I want to try to bring him as close as possible to the twins, but staying out of the eye line of other people. So it just looks like like we ran off, but we're actually
got it. You're gonna 23 skidoo him back. Okay. I will say you're able to do that. Like you dive and then kind of run along the wall type thing. Yeah. In Karrin and Kerrin, you sort of see Rayonde is just behind you, with Averin's unconscious body laying there.
I don't know what state he's in. I thought I'd bring him to the experts.
We'll take care of him. Go ahead. Go fight.
Helene, Nebula looks at you and you see like the colors of her starry pattern are getting like darker, you know, like where would-be eyes are just like sunken almost like black holes. And you see the mouth on her midsection opens up, snarling, and like a long tongue falls out of it, and she like is clearly furious, gripping her staff there in front of you. But it is your turn. You are alone there with Nebula and Depth on this platform, although you see your friends springing into action. For now, it is you with the two of them.
I'm gonna wait as her mouth like starts to open up, and I'm going to use my staff to cast Flaming Sphere, which is a 5-foot diameter of essentially a flame ball that with a bonus action, I can move it. So I'm going to toss it into her mouth if I can.
All right, let me just pull this up to see what she needs.
Her stomach mouth.
I mean, you didn't make it like this. Whoever drew the picture I found of her made it like this. Yes. She opens her gargantuan mouth like she's about to say something to you and very much fails her save. So as it opens like this hideous maw is about to say something, whoo, ball of fire. So just roll your damage and just give it to me when you have it. Is that it for you? Otherwise, since you are flying, technically you could move away from her. You could use your movement and be flying if you so chose.
Yeah, I'm gonna at least try and get in like, cause like Helene knows just about how far Karrin and Kerrin's magic will go when it comes to making us feel not dead. So she's gonna at least try and fly back to stay in a range of Karrin and Kerrin.
You also know what happened when she hit you with that staff. She locked you up just with a tap. Was like boop, and you were out of the fight. So,
yeah, that too. But we weren't gonna bring that up again. Okay, I mean, like, nobody saw that.
I was about to. So, she opens her mouth, flaming sphere, and you're like, but no, though. And fly off the platform. And she does turn and look at you, furious. And although it is not her turn, she is going to do a legendary action. She
You
is
hate to see it.
it's better when you don't see it coming. That's all. It's better when you don't.
That's my thing.
Helene, as you
It was also
lift off.
12 damage for her, by the way. Sorry.
Okay, great. Cool. I'm gonna make a note of that. As you lift up to fly away, she lunges out to grab you. And when she does, you just see all of reality just like bends and distorts around her. Like physical space doesn't want her here. And as she reaches out and like her hand brushes against your boot, you look down and you see your own leg bending in impossible ways. And it hurts a lot, but only does 5 points of damage as you you just get out of her way when she comes towards you.
Ooh,
And
does my leg still look bent once I get away from her? Or is
once you get it kind of it comes back to reality. But as all of you see her now, like everything around her is like, but it is your turn, Aiden.
So I've come around and I'm next to the crystal because I stealth around. And off to the side, knock on it, say, yeah, kids were right. It's good to have friends. I'm going to activate Avron's coin.
What does that coin enable him to do under the circumstances, Avron? You tell me.
Actually, I believe they know. You can cause it to create disguised self. Only that disguised self has to look like Avron.
And I step out into view and lean up against it, right in their vision. The old bait and switch. We love to have not seen it, and then seen it.
You see Death turn and look at you and just says, I don't care. The portal's big enough. We'll find another Avron. I will dine on your flesh.
Sure about that? And I'll wheel around behind the crystal again, using my cunning action to hide. Come on, chase the Avron, chase the Avron. Be distracted. That's
it's my fair game.
27 to hide. Go have fun and burn your turn.
You're close enough that you can hear it. Just sounds like a gross swirling of like as it like he comes forward looking. It is actually Nebula's turn now. Nebula seeing Helene over there flying away, just looks out and she says, I guess we're doing this the hard way. And you see, was there a plus attack here? Helene, she shoots 3 beams at you. 1 is going to miss and 2 are going to hit. I will tell you, she hits high enough that even your shield spell would not be able to help you. You theoretically have the option to counterspell, but no, if you do counterspell, that will use it up and you won't be able to counterspell perhaps something worse later in this round.
But war mages love a counterspell.
That's true. That is true. You see out of both eyes and out of her mouth, beams come out. 1 flies wide as you're sort of dodging, but for 10 and 4 points of force damage. I believe war mages have advantage on concentration, if I'm not mistaken. So you are going to need to give me a concentration check to see if you can hold your fly spell. So you will roll it with advantage, plus your con modifier, I do believe. Let me double check. But roll it in the meantime. It's
As the other warcaster in this, I can affirm that is a yes.
hey.
I think at this level there may also be a wizard war mage thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually,
I take that back. While you are maintaining concentration on a spell, you have +2 to your AC as a war mage. So actually only one hits you for 4 points of damage. And you have +2 to all of your saving throws as well. It is almost like you're some sort of wizard built for war. I don't know. Bizarre. So the first one misses. The second one hits you, and the third one is coming right at you. And Helene, you feel a new power sort of flowing through you, and it just kind of warps around you this time. The same way things just warped around her, it just warps around you. And she just looks at you and goes, ah! It is Xander's turn.
Aha!
Did we skip my turn? Because I had a 14.
Oh, you had a 14. So I wrote you in the run. I wrote you on my list after him, although your number is ahead of him. Yes, it is Karrin and Kerrin's turn, and you have an unconscious Avren laying at your feet.
Right. Can we tell just by looking at him what kind of help he needs? Or would you like me to roll a medicine check?
You can roll a free medicine check, but yes, you can roll it. You can roll it with advantage because there's 2 of you. It won't take up your whole turn to do.
Cool. That'll be a 24 on the medicine check.
He basically, his soul essentially has been depleted. He needs a greater restoration to get him back into the fight.
All right. We can do that.
Is the energy
have a greater
of
restoration at will because my my necklace allows me to do that.
Avren? You look up and you see the familiar face of Karrin and Kerrin standing over you as you hear explosions and flames and fire and death.
Am I still tiny?
You're half size. Yeah.
Oh God, it shrank me. Put me back in. That was a good time. Yeah, no, I haven't done anything like that since, eons. Oh my God. Woo, relaxing. Good times. Thank you so much, Nebula.
And Karrin just looks at Kerrin and goes, It did, but you'll be fine. And Karrin looks at Kerrin and goes, you got this? Yeah, I got this. Go take care of your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend yet. Well, if you live through this, he could be, you chicken. And Karrin goes racing off to make sure they stay within 60 feet of Xander. And Kerrin just looks at Avren and goes, you're going to be fine. We're here to help you.
Oh God, I shrank in the wash.
It's fine. It was just to make sure we could get you out of the crystal, but you're going to be okay. I mean, just think of it this way. Freely doesn't have any trouble with this size.
He does. He just doesn't know it.
off in the distance, Freely's just walking by. Hey! What was your initiative count, Avren?
19.
19. All right. Then I'm going to slide you in for next round. And Xander, it is your turn.
Awesome. How close am I to Nebula?
If you use your movement, you could get to her in time to melee.
In time of melee, yes. I would like to be in melee damage range.
Hey, we all like to be in the range of the melee damages. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, you could get close enough to her.
That?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you fly up and attack.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And then, I already rolled my attack, so I can.
Mm-hmm.
Got 21, 23, and a 26. I'm not using action surge because you worried me last time, so I'm gonna save it for a bit.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, there seems to be a scary monster below us, so. Do I do 21, 23, 24?
When you fly up and you hit her, you see right when she turns and looks at you as your first hit is about to land, and she swaps places with Depth, who your sword is coming down on him, and he holds a hand up. A shield appears around him. And he just goes, "Little Nebula, you know I hate that." And she turns around, still on fire, and is like, "Yes, but it works." As though you bang, 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 and you see the shield just keeps appearing all over Depth instead. And those are not enough to hit him.
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess never mind. It's not a successful attack. Never mind. I cry in Spanish. It's okay.
But you all see this, that he had her dead to rights, and she just goes and swaps places with him. And Depth takes, or would have taken, the hits that were meant for her.
You ruined my attack.
Although it is now Depth's turn. And he looks at you and he just says, "Allow me to return the favor." And
you got a few worms on me. Disgusting.
Both Aiden Vrin, and Xander both make dex saves.
Do you have advantage on all your saves?
They do not have to be able to see you.
Then I'll allow it.
You just have to be around.
Ooh.
I mean, I think I'm more a skinny than a.
You are the right size.
Thank you for the advantage. I got 15. Originally, I had a 1, so you know.
You got how much total? Sorry.
15.
Okay. And what does Aiden get?
Let's see. That's 19 on the dice plus 11, so 30.
Okay. Aiden, as you are creeping around, you see the worms erupt out of Depth and just go in all directions and crawl up over Xander. And you are blind and restrained as, again, these worms crawl in. When you try to open your mouth to say something, they start going into your mouth and everything as you are like swatting to get them off of you. And you take 22 points of damage.
I tried to open my mouth? Why?
Screaming.
We ask the same question every day.
As a free action, Karrin goes, "Get off of him!"
He, in Depth, just turns and looks at you and says, "I assure you, you and your sibling taste much sweeter." As you see
That's not a compliment.
Down below, you will hear and Karshima starts to stand up and is like, and everything like starts to shake as he's getting to his feet, and he's like, and his head comes up over the platform, and he like looks around at all of you, and
hi, Car.
Xander, actually, everybody give me a wisdom save. It is against a fear effect, if that is relevant to your saves.
Oh, I can't be frightened.
Well, then you're good.
Yes.
This one is pretty high. 26 is the number you need to beat. He's a big old scary god.
Do I need to roll twice or just the one time?
Did you pass or did you fail?
I failed.
Then I'll give you a shot for one of them to be able to stand their ground. Yeah.
They both failed.
You all feel, except Xander, and I guess theoretically, Rayonde will feel it, but be able to free himself of it when the time comes. A clawing existential dread go through you, just as a wave outward, as this is a creature of intense alien menace Like Karshimus is something the likes of which you have never been in the presence of. And as 5 pairs of eyes open all around his head, almost like a crown around him, and he opens his like huge fanged jaw open, he just looks at you all and says, "Too late." And you see he starts walking towards the open portal on the floor in front of him. That's where you see this unknown land down below. You, Averin, know exactly what that land is down below immediately.
Oh no. That's like my favorite place. Well, it's not really my favorite place at all. Anyways, yeah, don't let them go through the portal. That would be bad. That's Akanul. I always forget how they pronounce that thing. It used to be part here, I think. Where are we right now? Sorry, I've been tiny and in a tiny cage and fueling a giant primordial godlike thing. So it's been a day. You all look good. You all look good. Everyone doing good. Everyone doing fine.
You were doing the opposite of fine. This does bring us back to the top in Rayonde. If you are, if you fail the fear check, you are able to use your ability to break it if you so choose.
I did fail on my first roll, but then I used Diamond Soul, and I spent a key point to re-roll it. I made the second one.
Great.
How far am I from Big Boy downstairs?
You're fast enough. You could get to him. I mean, yeah. If you wanted to reach him with your 60 feet, not even counting your other abilities, you could get to him.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm just going to basically just like fly down, just kind of spin and do like a heel drop, like in the top of his head.
Yeah. He's gargantuan. Like, but yeah.
I'll worry about that later. You can't. Please don't describe how large he is. You'll make me change my mind, and I'm already committed. So
right. Go ahead and roll it.
All right.
Then after this, it will be you, Helene. So you can prepare what you are going to do. Roll your dice, be on deck, as it were.
Okay. I rolled a 4, but I'm gonna use unerring accuracy to re-roll that. So.
Okay.
All right, that's a little better. 21.
You hit him, and it is like he is made out of the same burning ice that all the rest of this is. It's like it's almost like he doesn't notice you. But then you see a pair of green eyes open and look right at you. And give me, hold on, wait. Give me a con save, Rayonde.
23.
The eyes look at you, and a green gas shoots out of them and hits you square on and does 77 points of poison damage. Not accounting for whatever mitigation you might have.
I'm trying to think if I have something actually that I don't actually know. I'm immune to disease and poison because I have pure body. Yeah.
Oh, then it does nothing. You are aware he's hit you with poison, but it does no damage.
So this is Karshimus who did this. The god did this to me. I go, oh God, you old gods! Your breath's terrible.
Give me
right here.
Give me either persuasion or intimidation, whichever's higher.
That is a 15. I'm not great at either of those.
Let's see how easily baited he is.
I'm a doer, not really a talker.
You realize he's like taking a couple of steps, and you boom, and he gasps and nothing happened. And you say that, and he does stop for a second and just like turns and looks at you, like he stops moving and is like, Huh? Helene, it is your turn.
Well, I have more attacks.
Oh, you have more? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Do more then. Yeah. Then I should clarify. The poison thing happens when everything else is done. It's his legendary action is the poison.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So,
so I'm going to try to. Can I use a stunning strike on him?
You certainly can try. Well, you got to hit him first.
I did hit him, didn't I?
No, that was a miss.
Oh, that was a miss. Okay.
I narrated it as his armor was just too thick, but you did not harm him.
Okay, sorry. All right, that's a 25 on my next attack.
That is enough to hit him.
Excellent. All right. So he takes 6 points of slashing damage. But I do want to spend a key point and try to stunning strike him. So
do you it's magical slashing, right?
Yeah, counts as magical.
Okay. You do see you take the smallest of chunks out of him, and when you you see like the shockwave go across him, like he seems unfazed.
Interesting. Okay. So he doesn't have to save for my stunning strike?
He seems unfazed.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's where that came from.
You just hear he opens his mouth and he starts saying something that you all feel more than hear. Do any of you speak primordial by chance? He describes in great detail how he will have Rayonde flayed piece by piece over a period of millennia, and he will bathe in his tears, essentially. To the rest of you, it just sounds like...
He thinks you're great. Thinks you're doing great. You're wonderful. And would like you to come over to supper sometime. That's all that was.
Helene, was that it for Rayonde?
I actually do have a bonus action I can still use.
Do it.
Can I try to make a perception check or something to basically like try to figure out what part of what I'm doing isn't working?
You could try. Yeah, it'll be Helene, and then after that, it's Aiden. By the way, if you want
can we all in life make that check, please?
I mean, it's going to have to be pretty high. That's not how this power works. But
2020 though.
Yeah, you've seen the world. Yeah, you're like, I don't know. It's a god, man. It's a pre-god. He's what came before the gods. That's really your only known data point.
The beta version.
He's a Titan.
Okay.
He's a 0.5. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give him one more punch then. Just one more unarmed attack.
Right.
One punch.
One punch.
It's like, I love the fact that this huge thing, and you're like, right hook.
Well, I hit it with my sword,
No, I'm not here to judge you and your monkery.
And doing an unarmed attack here will set up my agile parry for next turn. My first attack was a kick. So that's a 21, which misses him, right? And I'm all
same thing. I mean, it hits him because he is not exactly agile, but it's just like, you might as well be punching that wall over there.
It's like he's made out of granite stuff.
Although he does stop walking and very much is looking at you now. Helene, it is your turn. Roll for your flaming sphere. Although since they swapped, it would be on depth now, not Nebula, because she physically switched places with him, but you can make it move.
Okay, so the same attack, the same level, the same amount of D6 I did last time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll stay for a minute. Actually, I take that back. Hang on a second. This was on me. This was my fault. You cannot maintain concentration on both fly and flaming sphere. Presumably, you don't want everybody to plummet to their deaths. So I will say you hit her with the first one, but the flaming sphere has dissipated. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm trying to figure out if it's more beneficial to make Averin big again or cast Fireball. What's going to help us more at this moment?
Realistically, it's not really going to hinder what he does being small.
Okay, then
really.
she will definitely. Puny God.
That's it.
Almighty smallest.
Isn't reduce also a concentration spell? So am I out of that?
God. Hold on. Let's see. You win this round. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm biggie sized again.
she can't maintain your reduce either.
Technically,
like honestly, she would have been like flying, plummet, fly. Snack. Like, yeah.
I have no other way. It's 100% on brand for Helene. Yep. And yeah, now she's gonna launch a big old fireball.
Great.
And that came out to 52 damage. I already rolled that one.
What do they need to save to get out of that?
I will tell you in 2 seconds. Dex 19.
Neither of them make it. So as you see Depth standing there, very much taunting one of the twins, and you see Nebula frantically looking around for Averin. Neither of them see what you're about to do, Helene, and I will say that you were able to barely lay it in such a way that you do not hit Xander, although Xander is very much still being consumed by the worms, but we'll get back to that momentarily. Okay. Anything else for Helene?
No, I think that is all I can do at the moment.
Yes, and you all see that Helene doing her thing, erupting into flames, and both Nebula and Depth make obscene, outer plane-ish screeches of pain and terror. I will peel the skin from your bones, girl. You should have last time, foolish sorceress. Depth, we have eternity to discuss this. Let's just destroy them. Aiden, it is your turn.
Well, since Nebula and Depth switched places, that means that Space with a Mouth is now near me, and I can just walk up, show up nearby, and say, it sounds like the two of you are having some relationship problems. Like, I'm happy always to play counselor for that sort of thing. I'm available. I introduced my sunblade to her ribs.
Roll it. Yeah. You're like, cool. Let me just ask you one question, Gak. Yeah, right.
29 to hit.
That is enough to hit her, and she does the same thing again and swaps places with Depth and puts him in front of you. However, he cannot get his shield up in time, and you do stab into his mass of worms.
Ooh, stabbing into a man's mass of worms. See, usually I try to do that in private, but here we are, and we take advantage of the moment as we exist in it.
Normally that's behind the paywall. Yep.
Nope. This is Averin After Dark. How am I doing so far, buddy?
Doing great. I'm very proud.
Go. 13, 20, 30, 50 plus. So that'll be just a cool 40, and because I have flying, because I have fancy footwork, I moonwalk away into a little bit of cover and just say, just let me know about that. You don't have to answer now. Think it over. Let's not do this again. And I hide as a cunning action for, let's see, 17 plus 33.
You will very much see that Helene's like, boom, and Depth is like, it's like a hole blown out of his chest, and he is very much on fire. You see when Nebula just sort of appears where he was, she looks at him like, oh dear, and then looks at Xander covered in the worms and is like, oh, Oh dear. Averin, you and Nebula technically act simultaneously, but I will let you say what you do first.
I have so many questions. Does this god look like he's been hurt at all?
Rayonde is fighting. Yeah, nope. Something got through on him. Yep. He has been damaged. It was the tiniest chip, but he did get him.
Oh, okay. Carl? Wait, sorry. I know we've spent a lot of intimate moments together. Me in the cage, everything, me feeding you all day. Saying that very slowly. That's not nice. Karshimus? Oh, so you're like one of the old gods, or you're like not quite really a god? Like not like me. Like you're just like kind of like halfway got there, right? That's what you did.
Give me either persuasion or subterfuge, Averin.
Sorry.
Whichever's higher.
Subterfuge. Let me get out my vampire masquerade sheet. Sorry for being so slow on the draw.
Deception. Sorry.
That is
Deception.
Actually, I screenshotting it for 20. It's natural 20 with a 31.
Which is an impossible task, by the way.
Every single flavor.
Even though Rayonde is like wailing on him and he blew the gas and everything, he looked at you. You very much see like his head rotates and all 5 pairs of eyes just turn and look at Averin. Like the portal's over there and he's just like, "You what, mate?" You know?
You what, mate?
Yeah. But yes. I'll give you that one as a free action, Averin. You have his attention, though, sir.
I'll send it when it's not my turn, because I'm very proud. And this is a big moment for me in life and in general.
I just appreciate your douchebaggery may have just saved Faerun. Because Karshimus was like, cool, I'm out, you know. But now he's like, no, hold on, what'd you say? What'd you say? All right.
I like reach for my greatsword for a moment. I'm like, no, actually, not really worth that. I use my bonus action and take my dread form. Averin just becomes completely wholly spectral and undead-like. Immediately, his body drops to the ground, lifeless, and his spirit erupts out of it, and he looks almost like some kind of wraith-like version of Averin with 2 glowing golden eyes, and they almost look like coins. As I want to float over to this wannabe god. How can I get to Karshimus?
What's your movement?
It's 30.
Not quite. You could be on the way, but you
Okay,
can't.
I'm gonna be on the way. I'd like to drop by Helene. I'm on the way. Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah, because she's out flying. Yeah, you very much could like get close to her on the way. Yeah,
I float up on the way, and I float up to her. I mostly just lied, about everything, but mostly just lied about being a god, and then I just kind of became a god. And are you entirely sure you don't have to lie about it? You have something in you that is a lot more powerful than me. Maybe you should think about that.
Thank you. And did I really just save you for you to kill yourself and then turn into this, my friend? Is this what is? I like.
Oh,
this
is just no. This is how I usually am. No, it's okay. I know it's very creepy. It's unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you're okay. And,
no, I'm totally good. I feel great. I mean, I don't have to breathe. I don't have to eat. That's a big one. I just had to make some deals with some people in this really dark place. It's a long story. You may have heard of it. Anyways, I gotta go do this thing. Aiden, you're doing great. I fly right at him. And I am going to cast something big on him. I don't know if it's going to work.
You miss
probably
all the
immune.
shots you don't take, mate.
Oh, he's probably immune to a lot of things.
See, and I'm just watching Spectral Leve and like, this better not awaken anything in me.
Actually, I'm not going to cast on the god, the wannabe god right now. Oh, who's the biggest threat? So obviously Nebula, right?
I mean, Karshimus is a not insignificant threat, but yeah.
But like, are they handling
Nebula hasn't been hit yet. Depth has taken some hits. Nebula has like kind of she took that initial fire blast, but she slipped away from everything else. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I will cast Finger of Death on Karshimus. You should probably die then. I don't like you. You have all of my energy inside of you, and I would very much like that back. And
what level spell or what level are you casting it at?
it's the full deal. It's ninth. Well, no, it's 7th technically. Actually, I think that's how that works. Yeah. No, it's 9th. Yeah, it's a full on. I apologize again. It's 7th. That's how it works.
No,
Well,
a lot's happening all at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What is the save against that?
It's con 19.
You see, so I rolled 1. So your black bolt of energy flies and like crackles right against his chest, and he roars, and it's just deafening. And he goes, and you see like the flames around him kind of erupt, and it just shakes it off.
Oh, he didn't take any of it.
You got him.
You can't keep this up forever. Go on, Avery. Next one will be the one we need.
I do imagine Rayonde is still like, ah.
That was very rude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tanking his foot.
I'm doing my best. Look, I'm a ghost. Okay, look what I'm doing. I'm putting in the effort.
You're doing great, sweetie.
He looks at you and says something very unpleasant about your mother, and out of his blue eyes, electricity shoots out at you. Lightning shoots at you, Averin. Give me a dex save.
What I never told you is you are my mother.
No, that's not true. That's impossible.
Suck it, Carl. I got an 11 though.
No, just center mass. Lightning just pow for 88 points of damage, not counting any form of mitigation.
Yeah. What type of damage is that? Oh, it's
lightning.
Proper lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. And I'm just gonna not want to die. So I'm gonna just, as a reaction, I'm gonna turn into a big cube of ice. Well, no, I don't do that. I take it. So
Yeah, you would start at 88.
88.
Yeah, you would start plummeting if
Yeah. It's bad. I'd be an ice cube and I'd break. So all right, that hurt. Okay.
You see, hold on a second here. Xander, you take 13 necrotic damage. Actually, you take 13 necrotic damage, and you all see the hole in Depth's chest starts to fill in. As you hear Xander's like, he's like, I told you I would consume your strength. And it is
melee attack?
Nope, it's the worms are eating you.
I don't know what's
You very much feel hundreds of tiny jaws biting into you, all over you, including the ones that are inside your mouth, Xander. It's terrible.
I don't like this.
However, it is Nebula's turn. She looks at you, Averin, and says, Oh, I knew you were holding out on us. This kind of power is what we were really looking for. Tell me, what are you heroes going to do now? And you see she hits Xander and electricity jumps out of her staff. Xander, give me a con save. However, I believe you must do so at disadvantage. Let me see.
But he has advantage, so it's just a straight roll. We don't
Well, let me
like
just
straight
put-
rolls, but we'll accept them in this case.
Well, actually, believe it or not, you still have advantage. Being blinded and restrained does not affect con. So yeah, give me a con save with advantage.
19. Is that a nice thing?
That is not enough. You see,
You have Indomitable if you need it.
Oh, Aiden, thank you. I hear you in my
Like
mind.
2 uses now. Yeah.
true. Mm-hmm.
Got you, buddy.
Does that
I'm
give you-
glad that you're being consumed when you think of me.
24
I
is
always
enough.
think of you.
Yep.
Does 24 do anything?
It does. You take 18 points of psychic damage. Give me an athletics check.
I don't like this.
Advantage, all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a second. He should be taking half damage, and you should be taking the other half for all of this. If you put warding bond on him.
Add 25 in the athletics check.
So hold on a second. How much damage have you taken so far, Xander?
I don't know. I just entered it in.
I mean, yeah. What? I mean, you just
I think it's been about 50-ish.
Yeah, I mean total, like total. Since the
Oh,
fight started,
total?
how much? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be about 53.
Okay, so you get back 25 hit points, and either Karrin or Kerrin, whoever did that to him,
Yeah, it
loses
will be
25.
Karrin. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Technically, this was always the case. They went halvesies on the damage with it. You just didn't know it. She hits you, and you feel this jolt go through you, and you feel your body kind of hit the railing of this platform, but you managed to keep yourself on. It's very clear to you she was trying to knock you over to almost certain death. Xander. It is now Karrin and Kerrin's turn, and after that, Xander, it will be your turn.
Can Depth give me an intelligence saving throw and beat a 19?
What is it that you're doing to him?
Oh, we've done this dance before. He's getting a nice, loud, annoying scream in his brain so that he can get the hell off of Xander.
Counterspell.
Yay, I love burning a 9th level spell.
If you're casting it at 9, he has to roll to see if he can get it to work, actually. He needs to beat a 19, right?
18.
For counterspell, do you add your spellcasting modifier, or is it a pure roll?
It's not a pure roll. I think it's affected by the level of the spell you're trying to count.
Yeah, but I mean, he needs to beat 18. But I mean, does anything get added to his roll when he does it? Let me check real quick. Let me just double check. I'm not used to when it is opposed. Okay.
Because counterspell is like 5th level, and it's the difference, I think.
Equal to the level of it's equal to the level. He's got DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. It is an ability check with your spellcasting modifier. He succeeds and disrupts the spell.
Cool.
He just looks at you like
I swear on Corlon, I will kill you myself.
Come in, little elf. Once you die, we already have a spare.
Rude gesture in Depth's direction.
The ancestral elven gesture. Xander, it is your turn. You are still blinded and restrained, but you will get another chance to save at the end of your turn.
Can I just take a free action and say, Jesus, Death, wow, you just went hard.
I'll say he's made out of these worms, so he fully comprehends what you're trying to tell him. Like to him, he's right here. So yeah, you're like, that's unnecessary. Yeah.
Can I do anything to get these worms off me or out of me?
You'll get a save at the end of your turn. You can't act. You just have some pretty significant, drawbacks and in penalties. That's all.
Sweet. Okay, so can I attack?
So you basically, because you're restrained, you cannot move, and if you attack, you have disadvantage.
Is Nebula's the one?
I think we established Nebula's close enough to you. Yep.
Okay. I guess I would like to blindly swing towards wherever Nebula was once. That I.
Yep. You can try. You just roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
You roll twice. Take the lower.
You have advantage on all of your attacks, so it's actually just a flat roll.
Okay. Yep. Then it's just a regular roll.
Interesting.
However, you do take 20. I guess 11 in. One of the twins takes 11 necrotic damage as the worms are continuing to eat you.
Gross. Okay. Well, then I got 25.
Actually, I take that back. That actually happens at the start of Death's turn. He's next. So if you successfully shake this off, you will not take that damage. So hold on that. But yes, go for it.
How much was that? I just need to heal myself.
Right now, it hasn't happened yet. It'll happen on his turn.
11. I got 25 and then a natural 20, so which was a 32, and then 26. Does any of those smack?
All three of those hit. Actually, that's all three of those hit.
Awesome.
So she's all like, Avery and I, yeah, all three of those hit.
All right, awesome. And that's 11, 7, and 15 for damage-wise.
Okay.
And as I do this attack, because that special sword that I was greatly gifted also lets me tell someone to do some stuff for my bonus action or whatever.
What sword?
The sword of Paruns.
Oh yeah, there it is. Paruns. Okay.
Immediately after you use the attack action to attack with the sword, you can enable one creature within 60 feet. You use its reaction to make one weapon attack. I would like to look at Karrin and be like, Karrin, can you do the thing where you portal or something with the big monster down that way?
You get one free weapon attack, Karrin.
All right. Well, I say that doesn't mean you have to do that.
Then they'll go ahead and swing their short sword of warning at this at Nebula or whichever one of them they're closer to.
You would be closest to Nebula because you were trying to get to Xander. Yep.
Maybe I might actually hit. I might. We'll see. It's a. Sorry, I have to do math in my brain. Started at 22.
That is enough to hit her.
I hit with my weapon, you guys. I did it. I actually.
Whoa! Check the dice. You hit.
She's like, bang! How dare you?
And take another 6 points of damage. I hit with my weapon for I think the very first time ever in 2 seasons.
That honestly, I think that really may be the first time. Like it hadn't been many times. That is true. That hadn't been many times. You know what? He just told you where to hit. I appreciate blindly. Xander's like low. Like, oh, that's how that works.
Is she concentrating on any spells
Karrin
right
kind
now?
of kneels down and just sort of shanks Nebula across the shin.
She is not concentrating on any spells currently. However, let's see. It is not her turn actually. It is Depth's turn. Now, make your save to see if you shake off the worms first of all. Because at the end of your turn, you get a chance to shake them off.
Oh, is there any particular, or is it just?
Oh, it's a dex save.
Dex.
Do
I have advantage on that as well?
You have advantage on all saves.
This is a straight roll because you being restrained makes it would have been disadvantaged, so it's even.
Oh well, okay. I'm going to say 19, but I have a feeling that's not going to do anything.
That is not enough.
That's what I
Yep.
thought.
That is not enough. Yeah. So now you take 22 points as the worms are burrowing into your flesh here.
11.
Oh yeah, 11. Yep. And Xander.
It's getting throttled.
He
Getting beat up for other people is an honorable.
It is. Except I don't
He just-
know. Go ahead,
He slams his staff down, and a black shockwave goes out in all directions. Where Kerrin, Xander, and Aiden all give me a con save.
I think it's Karrin. Isn't Karrin? the
It's
one?
Karrin.
Karrin. Yep.
Yeah,
See,
Karrin.
see what I did there? See what I did there? The thing I did? Yeah.
You sure that wasn't a dex save, though?
I'm 100% sure.
I
It is
mean, it
not.
could be.
It would be, except it isn't.
Mm. Oh, well.
You said
Thank
con,
you.
right?
Dice.
Con.
Cool. I got another 19. I don't know. I'm sure that doesn't work.
I rolled a 6.
I got a 19, which means it's an 18 on the dice, which means that we should just all be impressed with me. We should just be impressed, whether it succeeds or fails.
So this is going to be slightly complicated. Okay. Xander and Aiden both take 17. No, hang on. Aiden, you take 17 necrotic damage. Karrin takes Xander takes 8 necrotic damage. Karrin takes 25 necrotic because you took your damage and half of his, and because you failed the save, another 14 necrotic damage.
It's 25 plus 14.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So they get a little bit pounded by that.
No problem.
But that is it for him. And it is Karshimas's turn. Karshimas turns and walks towards you, Aiden. And he just looks at you and says, I will consume you. And
Buy a man a drink first.
you see he just explodes in a blur of movement where it just seems like space and time warp around him. His fist and claws come flying out in all directions at you, Aiden. Or Averin, sorry.
So it's Averin.
It
that's
is
being
Averin.
attacked.
It is Averin that is being attacked.
Okay.
I mean, I was
The real
pretty
Averin.
impressed with the divine levels of perception merely to see Avraden.
I mean,
Yeah.
if anyone was going to, it
That
would
was
have
why
been
I
him.
wasn't even disputing it. I was
I
like,
mean-
okay, but
Buddy, if you want to consume me, you could have just asked.
see, this is what I'm saying.
He hits you for 24, and 32 slashing and piercing. I'm giving it to you individually because I don't know what mitigation you might have.
A lot. Okay.
24, and 32.
24,
And-
24, and 32. So it's half.
32.
I'm resistant to all of it.
Okay.
Um,
And 14 acid damage. When he bites you, and acid comes out of his teeth. So 24, 32, 14.
Can I take a reaction to use my sentinel attack? I want to use my reaction
To drop his movement to 0?
No,
Oh.
well, yeah, I will be able to take an opportunity attack and
Mhm.
drop his movement to 0.
Yep, you can.
mm,
All right, that is a 22.
That is not enough to hit him.
Ooh,
Again,
is it technically? Oh, it's not my turn again yet, still, right? So I don't have a use of unerring accuracy.
Yep, it's not your turn. It's just a reaction. Yep. Okay, we are back around. This is the top of round 3, though. It is your turn now.
All right. How big is Kershimus relative to me? He's like 50 feet tall, right?
Yeah, now that he stood up, you realize he might be more like 80 feet tall. It occurs to you that things are weird in here. Like, I mean, distances don't make sense. And you're like, no, he's this big. Actually, he's this big. Like, yeah.
Okay.
He is truly gargantuan.
All right. So he's made out of like, I've already hit him a couple times. He's made out of some sort of like stone or something. He's like
ice that is on fire.
Ice is on fire. Okay.
Also, Helene is up next, by the way.
I want to basically plant my foot on his foot, like the space between his big toe and the one next to it, and just draw my sword between them, like the sharp of the blade, as a bonus action. I'll spend 3 key points to make it a +3, and then I'm going to try to take another shot at him.
All right, go for it. It is Helene, and then after that, Aiden.
Okay, so I rolled an 8, but I am going to use unerring accuracy to try to fix that. So once per turn. That's what I'm talking about. 20. Oh no, sorry, +13. 31.
That's not enough. No, I'm messing with it. Yeah, that is enough to. I mean, you're like, so we're leaving.
But it's an impossible task.
Yeah, like we're going to the portal. Like we're just not gonna be here. Yes, that is enough to hit him.
Okay, so I'll roll my damage for that. But can he make a save against a stunning strike?
You notice that again. You see the shockwave, and he seems unfazed.
Okay, he takes 13 points of slashing damage from that attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do bite a chunk of the ice off of his foot.
All right, next attack then. I'm going to try to just stab my sword down into his foot. I want to just try to pin his foot to the ground.
I will tell you, for ease, 25 is the number you need to beat to hit him.
All right. That's great because I got a 30.
That is enough to hit him.
Yep. So, all right. So that is 8 points of slashing damage, and I'll spend a key point to Death Strike to add another die to it. So that is another 16 points of damage.
All right. You guys see Rayonde has just come down onto his foot and is like, and you think it is starting to like crack. And you, Rayonde, notice his black eyes and his blue eyes look down at you and give me a dex save as acid comes spraying out of his black eyes.
That is a 27.
That is exactly what you needed. But it still gets you for 33 points of damage. Is it just acid? We're not counting for mitigation. Is it all over the place?
I can use evasion, I think, to take damage from that.
Yeah, if you have that as an option, you sure can.
I think I do. Here it is. When you're subjected to effect, yeah, I take no damage.
Nope, never mind. Then you hop out of the way. Xander.
So cool.
Xander, you take again 6 in 6. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah. 6 in 6 necrotic damage between you and Karrin. And you see the hole in Depp's chest continues to close up more. And you hear and he just looks at you, Xander, and you hear him say, I was wrong to leave you behind before. I think I'll keep you as a buffet.
I say, things we
Helene,
can't say right now, but you can hear all of it. You
yeah.
know
Oh,
it.
he knows. He knows. He got it. Helene, it is your turn, and then it is going to be Aiden.
She kind of mumbles under her breath. She goes, crap. Just in a bit of a panic, and then looks over and sees Xander and Karrin over there and goes, and she goes, let's see how they like a taste of their own medicine, and casts Finger of Death on Death that has them right now for 65 damage, and it's a con save of 19.
He does not make it. Hold on. 65, you say?
Mm-hmm.
You see, he is saying to Xander, I'll keep you as a buffet. You see this like black energy start to go over him, and he goes, and his mask falls off, and you see the worms start to collapse, and he looks, he's like,
Does he die? Does he die? Because something else happens.
He does die.
Oh, okay. So the next round, he rises at the start as a zombie that is permanently under my command, following my verbal his ability.
Can you just very elite?
I don't even know how you have a zombified larva mage, but here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah. And the worms do start to fall off of you, Xander, and you all see underneath Karrin, he's got even more bites and holes on him than you did. He is covered in them. Tiny little bleeding bite marks all over his face.
As a free action, Karrin is just going to quickly fling himself at Xander and give him a very big hug.
Aiden, it is your turn. You see Nebula looks down. Actually, Nebula looks down at what you've done, Helene, and she actually I take that back. She cannot do that. Let me see what she can do. Helene, she just looks and she goes, you took my friend. I think I'll take yours. Xander, give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
You have advantage. You'll be okay.
Can wisdom?
Wisdom.
If I'm notoriously so bad at wisdom saves.
You have one more use of Indomitable.
I believe in you, Xander.
I believe in me too.
And maybe your sword does something? I don't know.
I'm going to use that Indomitable just so you know. I got 2 more actually. Oh,
Yeah.
You're a big
You're
boy
a
now.
high-level boy.
Indomitable.
Man, can I use another one?
Can it be done multiple times? I'm actually not
know.
familiar with
2
the
uses
ability.
of
Let me look.
Indomitable at this level, I believe.
You're
I mean, but what I mean is, can they use multiple instances on a single save?
This would just be the second one because he used it the other time to turn it from a 19 to a 24.
No, he used it and it didn't work, and he's asking, can he do it again?
I think you use it, but you're also rolling these at advantage. From
hang on, I'm
Karrin,
reading
right?
it here. You can re-roll a saving throw that you fail. If you do so, you must take the new roll, and you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. So you got multiple uses, but you cannot reuse it on this save because it's like you have to take the other one.
So, all right. Well, be gentle. I got 11.
Xander.
Oh God.
It's happening again, Xander.
Oh God.
And Karrin throws their arms around you, so happy to see you.
This is not going to be good.
And you know what you have to do.
Oh God.
This relationship is so
Do I do it now?
It's not your turn. It's not your turn. It'll be on your turn that you will fight them.
Headspace for it.
It'll be on your turn that you fight them. Aiden, it is your turn.
Yeah, so I'm not into that because my snack was first told that he was a buffet. And thereafter, others up here to desire some dessert from this sweet thing, and I'm just not about it.
But
So-
before you do this, everybody give me a perception check.
Do I as well?
No, you don't care. You see the only thing you're looking for.
I got 7.
7. Same thing, Averin. You're just like, look at me. I'm the real skinny boy god. Yes,
19.
24, 19.
I rolled a 1, but with my plus 9, it's a 10. And I'm very busy. Give me some.
That's true.
I'm very
You're trying
busy.
to hack a god's foot off. That's true. Helene?
7. She's busy watching worms rise from the dead.
Same thing. No, you're like, I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. Apparently, I was a necromancer this entire time. Just mad with power. Karrin, I will say Kerrin, because Karrin is also otherwise occupied at this exact second. Kerrin and Aiden, especially as you're sort of creeping over, you both notice that portal's gotten a lot bigger. In the time all of this has been going on, that hole has doubled in size. And you can see a whole city and the surrounding landscape around it. And you can see like wind is blowing down there and people are like running around trying to get away.
Cool. Cool.
So,
But it
as
is
a
your turn.
reaction, I dislike that.
0 out of 10. Would I recommend?
Yep, nope.
about the
Absolutely
free
not. Incredibly poor Yelp score. And I will express my desire to just reject everything about that with the mechanism foremost, well, at hand.
Mhm.
So I'll come on up to Nebula. Hey, that thing that you just did, please don't do things like that. I don't appreciate it. Gank.
Do you say it though? Do you say
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I say gank.
Yeah.
Roll it,
It
and
only
you
works
do,
if.
you do have an ally close enough to sneak attack.
Oh yeah, and I'm swash swash buckle buckle. So
Mm-hmm.
we're good
Yep.
regardless. So that'll be
You
a
can roll
30 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool,
That
cool.
is actually, hold on. Let me check something here.
Mhm.
Actually, she has a thing, but I believe she can only do it on her turn. Let me just make sure.
Yep. Frankly, if a 30
Yep.
doesn't hit her, I quit.
Yep. No, it does, and that's the only thing that she can do. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is enough to hit her.
Cool. I'm glad. I'm real glad. That suck. That'd be less than great. It'd be less than great. So let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 52, 7 is 49. 49 of which 9 is radiant, if that matters to her. It certainly matters to me deep down in that place where allegedly my soul hangs out. But my soul does not hang out here nearby her, and I cannot be clearer on this point. I would not like to stay after. I'm gone. I am not in this location anymore. I fancy footwork away and hide for that. Both of those were cocked. That's wild.
You
For 30.
stab into her side, and she visibly shudders. And you see the mouth on her torso just sort of like hangs open, and the tongue just lolls out of it. And she goes,
It's not fun. It's not nice. People don't appreciate it. Yeah. No, it's causing pain. Not a great thing. Not a great thing. Not a great thing. Goodbye.
I'm gonna find that Herald boy, and I'm gonna make him watch the things I do to you, rogue.
Gotta find me first. Does that proc any kind of a concentration check against what she just did to Xander?
It does, but she makes it.
Oh, but what if she didn't, though? Like, can we just consider that?
Averin, you and she will act simultaneously. You have Karshimus's full attention now as he just like popped you with that lightning. And you see Rayonde is hacking into his foot. Helene is tapping into black fell power. And Nebula is clearly grievously wounded. I'm going to say someone probably told you the fact that the portal is expanding, even though you didn't notice. It very much is.
Well, that's not good. You don't want portals typically to like get bigger. Hey, Karshimus, what was that thing you said before? The thing you said something to me earlier. I can't remember what it was. It was like a few seconds ago.
He doesn't say anything to you. He's just looking like all of like four of his pairs of eyes. The black eyes are looking down at Rayonde, but the other four pairs of eyes are looking at you.
Look, up here. You said you wanted to consume me, and I thought that was a really good idea. And I passed through him into his stomach.
How?
Because I'm in wraith form, I can pass through creatures. They're difficult terrain.
It's all cavernous in here, you know. It's one of those luxury primordial digestive systems.
Trojan Averin.
I'm gonna take this back now. I'm gonna take it all back, and I'm going to hit inside. Now I have a question about dexterity and how hard it is to hit a god inside of their stomach. So what would be? I know I'm up to some Averin bullshit. What would be?
I love it. Been eaten by things. This is not
right now.
territory for us.
Of a primordial god's stomach. Would you say?
I would say that you both have advantage and he's got disadvantage. You kind of got every odd in your favor right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go with good old fashioned vampiric touch. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just start draining the life force from him from within his stomach right now.
Like an ulcer.
Averin ulcer. Okay. What level are you casting the spell?
Oh, I'm doing it the full meal deal. He can't see me casting it.
Oh yeah,
well, I'm in his tum tum.
Is vampiric touch attack or
it is well, that's what I was asking. Like, is it better to make him do a dexterity saving throw? Do you think? I'm just asking. Yeah, I'm just asking. So I got 25 to hit with vampiric touch.
That's exactly what you need to hit him.
All right, so it does. A ridiculously low number of damage. So that's 12 plus...
counts.
Oh, 12 plus 6, though. Now the 6 counts. So that's 18 points of damage, and half of that I will get back to me in health.
All right.
So I'm going to try to drain his life force from inside his stomach and funnel it back inside of me. How do you feel about that?
I would just why are you like this is the question that comes to mind. But yeah, no, this is all very on brand. This is very on brand. It is Nebula's turn, though. Yes, are we anything else, Averin? Yes?
Yes, on top of that, actually, while I'm in this form, while you're using your form of dread, once during each of your turns, when you deal necrotic damage to a creature, you gain hit points equal to half the amount of your necrotic damage dealt. So actually, I get the full amount of health back for the damage I dealt. Did he take it?
Yes, he did.
I'm a healthy boy now.
So hangry now.
You feel pretty good.
Vampiric touched his tummy, and he's just so hangry.
Yeah. Thank you. I am done. You love me.
You see, believe it or not, Nebula can do that too. You all see she turns and looks and goes, "No!" and dives off and flies into Karshimus's stomach too.
Does this inspire an opportunity attack from me?
It would.
That's what I thought. I'd like to guiding bolt her right in her stupid mouth.
Great
All
fight.
Yep,
Because I have Warcaster and I can.
you absolutely can.
So we're gonna guiding bolt her sorry butt. Let's go ahead and do that at
I can't believe you're gonna have a zombie larva mage.
let's do that at spicy 4th level and hope it hits.
I mean, she had to replace the gray render with something
That's
more
true.
intimidating.
How do you like a natural 20?
It's terrible.
How do you like a natural 20? Take that, Nebula! Get the heck off my boyfriend!
Roll your damage.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. That's 76 that I can roll.
Knocks the concentration because
Here's hoping.
Yeah,
So,
Let's see. Let's see.
so am I multiplying it or am I rolling it twice? Because I'm happy.
Dealer's choice. Some
Let's
people
go
like the more
ahead
dice, or
and
you can roll
it
half
twice
and double.
because it's nice and it makes me feel good. So
You've earned it.
how do you that'll be a 39 points of damage.
You see she bow, and she goes tumbling through him, and you see Averin. She comes flying through his lands and like hits the back of him and tries to stand up and sort of just like falls down to one knee and goes, "It doesn't matter what happens to us here. Kashima's will return. I took so much pleasure in all of your deaths."
You did?
And
Wait, what?
falls forward down into Karshimas' stomach and
Before that, I used my sentinel feet since she did come into my range.
Wait, I also have
And,
set feet.
I just impale her like Vlad Tepish in Ghost 4, and then I let her fly down.
roll it to see if you hit her.
It's the fall that kills you.
Thought it was the landing.
Oh, wait. It's the landing. Sorry.
It depends on how far you're falling, says Kerrin from the back.
I always get that confused. Sorry. Sorry. So I'm gonna go do
Some
this.
people die of heart failure on the way down.
That is a 27.
You see, she just says, "I enjoyed killing you." And her knees buckle as she's about to fall over dead, and you just
Likewise.
and that does break her concentration on you, Xander. As you very much are like,
yeah, it's not going to be good.
this time, Karrin and Kerrin. However, this time, when she dies, you feel also Karrin and Kerrin like coming through with like the clutch moves here in the battle for two worlds. You see a couple things happen. First, Averin, make a
A tum-tum check?
no, it just happens. Like acid comes flying up out of Karshimas.
Oh.
And hits you for 56 points of acid damage.
Ah. Nice.
And
That
he
reflex.
looks out at all of you and just says, "Die, worms." And out of his white eyes, ice flies out towards in the direction of Helene and Kerrin, and fire flies out in the direction of Aiden, Xander, and Karrin. and he starts walking again. He just steps over you, Rayonde, like he is heading out. So, Kerrin and Helene, give me dex saves. Actually, everybody give me dex saves.
Outside chance. Does he have to be able to see me?
He does not. It's a cone.
Check. I had to check, man,
21.
19.
19.
16.
16.
I'm not even going to bother to say because no.
So,
28.
something uniquely terrible is about to happen. For Kerrin and Helene, that is 72 points of cold damage. For Aiden and Aiden, that is 91 points of fire damage.
Did I fail safe?
Oh, did you?
28?
I thought you. Oh, no, 27 was what you needed. Then no, you made it. Then it's half, and that's not counting your roguishness.
Yep, so I did
that-
none.
as you dive out of the way. However, Xander, you take 45. But Karrin takes 100.
Yeah, I'm unconscious. You don't have to tell me how terrible it is. It's bad. Karrin is unconscious.
In 44 points of fire damage. As you see, they jump in front of you, Xander, taking this one last hit that was meant for you, and collapse into your arms as you hold their burned body there, and you feel the warding bond fade on you.
It's not my turn, is it?
It is Rayonde's turn, and then it is Helene's turn, and Karshimas is very much heading towards the portal now to go to Faerun. Or go to Toril, rather. Faerun
Really
is the
sorry.
continent. Toril is the planet.
Can I double check the ice damage? It was 72 or 77?
I believe it was 77. Let me double check. I got a bunch of tabs open. I apologize. 72.
All right, great. Good. Awesome.
Rayonde, it is your turn. You have seen all of this and hear your friend screaming and have no idea where Rayonde is. But yes.
Yeah. After Karshimas did that, I want to use my Sentinel feature to
You absolutely can
get in a freebie. And that's technically my reaction from.
Yes. It'll be good because if you can lock down his movement, that'll give you more of a chance.
Yeah. Okay. So that is 22 to hit.
25 is the number you need to beat. Do you have anything that can boost that attack in any way?
I could, but I'm actually going to save it for this turn, probably.
Okay.
So next attack.
Now it's actually your turn.
Okay. Yeah. So first attack, 25. That hits.
That is enough to get him.
And then that is 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to stunning strike on him. Is this something that the stunning has not worked before? Does he like seem to be immune to my stunning?
Unfazed by your stuns.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll just death strike instead if that's not been paying off. So that's another D10. That is another 9 points of damage on that first sword attack.
All right.
And then it's time for the next one. Okay, that is 31 to hit. And, excellent. 17 points of slashing damage. And I'll death strike on that one as well.
Okay.
So that's another 15 damage.
All right. And like I said, Helene, you're up next.
I've got, so then I guess I'm going to use Flurry of Blows for my bonus action.
Okay, roll it.
So first one is 24, so it misses.
All right. It's a finger of death you hit depth with, right? I'm just reading to see exactly what happens.
Okay.
Finger of depth, yes.
Yeah, finger of depth. Okay, go ahead.
My second Flurry of Blows missed, so I haven't used Unerring Accuracy on this turn yet. Have I?
Okay.
No.
I don't believe.
I'll reroll that. That's still just a 20. All right, so last attack.
Okay.
Okay, so there we go. That's 30 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And
that is enough to get him.
And another 17 points of slashing damage. And I will death strike on that one as well.
All right.
So that is another 13 points of damage.
All right. You are like chopping into him and like hacking at his feet and but he is still on the move. Helene, it is your turn.
I don't know if I can outlast this guy.
She's gonna look at the newly formed zombie. Look, you made this mess. You clean it up. Half of you shut down that portal since you are the one who knows how this works, apparently. And the other half of you, if you can send some of your little worm minions over there to take care of whatever that thing is. And when she points her fingers, she casts Disintegrate at the giant god creature at Karshimas.
When you're saying shut this down because you built this, he looks at you completely blankly. It's just a writhing mass of worms.
And she'll look around for what looks like a kind of like key component or something that she can tell him to like slither into and disrupt it. If there looks like some kind of like mechanical mechanism that it's like it would get in the way if it was messed up.
Give me an Arcana check, Helene.
Yeah, she has no idea.
Well, what'd you roll?
That was a natural 1.
Yeah, no, none of this makes any sense. You saw earlier when you saw the way where you saw the energy coming into the top of this thing and funneling through the crystal. You think, maybe I can break that. You don't know.
Yeah, in the last game, I did have a rather high roll on how this worked last time. So,
yes, that is true. You're pretty sure that if you broke that thing up there, you might be able to at least stop this from happening. You don't know if you can reverse it, but you feel like you might be able to stop it.
Then she tells the zombie to go break that thing.
And he's like, and the worms start crawling upwards. Okay, roll your disintegrate.
All right, let me see what that is.
You don't do anything. He potentially saves against it. He does not make the save. What level are you casting it at?
I have been saving my 9th level just for this. And it is. It says 19d6 plus 40 damage.
That is how much it's going to do.
So I gotta roll that many. I'll be right back in a minute, folks.
Helene, as you see this creature striding forward, and you see Rayonde help chopping away at it the best that he can, saying he doesn't know if he can do this. You hear a voice whisper in your ear, Helene, very quietly. Oh, my child, the fate of 2 worlds hangs in the balance. Would you like my help to save your world, save your friends, save your family?
Do I recognize the voice?
Never heard it.
Yes.
Roll your damage. There's a lot of diceages. You are up next, Aiden, but I deeply suspect that pending how this goes is going to directly affect what happens next.
I would just like to say for the record that Kerrin sees Karrin fall. They see where Karrin falls, and they turn their attention to Karshimas.
Yep.
I'm just stabbing. I'm trying to give him irritable irritable bowel syndrome. I'm taking notes as well. I'm just like, oh, what does this do? And I just like pull a cord off inside. I'm like, I tie it to something else.
Sometimes you really just got to get under the hood, you know, to see, like, really get into the guts of something to really see how it works.
Yeah, just like squishing things together.
I mean, personally, I don't have the stomach for it.
Yeah.
How many?
118.
You all see she steps up, and when she plants her feet and holds her hands out, you all see her eyes turn black and a pair of black spectral wings appear and two beams come out and blow a hole in Karshimus. Averin, you see the energy coming your way, and you hear a voice say, "You'll be coming with me, trickster." And something grabs you and vanishes. And you'll Karshimus takes a step forward and starts to like fall into pieces and looks at you and says, "What?" And he goes towards the portal and begins like is cracking and falling as he is going and tumbles through and disintegrates on the way down as snow and ice just falls all over the kingdom below. And you all stand there and everything is quiet. A god slain, a friend possibly lost, and an ally missing. You all are victorious in the saving of two worlds, but at a heavy, heavy cost. And with that, we will return for season 3 of Dungeons and Dragons: A Darkened Wish. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.